A lot of you have been asking about him, so here's what happened to my hubby and how he healed in just 1 week. I want to warn you though, this video contains some pretty graphic images. So it was a nice Saturday afternoon, and as usual, hubby decided to take a fat bike ride. His riding buddies weren't available, so he did this ride solo. He also wanted to explore a new trail that he never rode before. I was at home and I decided to take an afternoon snooze, so I took the phone off the hook. He did leave me with a map of the location that he would be riding, which is always good. And well, here's what went down. So, he wasn't quite sure how bad his injuries were, but he did do everything right. The first thing he did was he grabbed his water bottle after he checked out his helmet there and rinsed his face off to get any dirt or debris that may have been in his face. As you've seen, he took a tumble over his handlebars and into the dirt, and his visor on his helmet actually cracked and caused a pretty big gash in his forehead. So I think he's there fumbling around there getting his water and cleaning off his face. And of course, I think the next thing he did was check to see if his bike survived this ordeal. There you go. Checking his bike. But he always carries with him arnica. It's a remedy that we find very useful in times when you get a bad injury. And so he reached into his pack and took his Arnica 30C right away. The quicker you get arnica into you, the quicker you will heal after your injuries. He generally doesn't heal very well, so this is a must-have in his pack to carry arnica, which speeds up the healing process. Now, since he didn't have a mirror, he wasn't sure what his injuries were like, so he used his helmet cam and played back so he could check on, or wiping it off there, so he could check on how bad his injuries actually looked. Pretty bad stuff. Ew. Still hard looking at that. Well, and then he called me, but again, I had the phone off the hook, and he got our message machine.
Hi, it's me. I'm on my way home. I had a bit of a spill. I got a big cut on my forehead. My lips are swollen. My nose is swollen. Got all my teeth. I don't know if I'll need stitches, but it looks worse than I feel. Anyway, I'm coming home. Okay, bye.
When he got home early, he didn't do his usual routine of cleaning his bike. Instead, he went straight to the shower, which I thought was odd. So I went to check on him, and I swear he looked like something from the zombie apocalypse movie. My first question was, oh my God, do you have your teeth? Anyway, he showered up, and although he wanted me to fix him up, I had to insist that he go straight to the hospital with a head injury. So 4 hours later, 8 stitches, 2 nose fractures, but hubby was on the road to recovery. We repeated the doses of arnica anytime his condition worsened. This is day 1 after getting his stitches. I also gave him a dose of Symphytum, known as knit bone, to help heal his fractures. There you go, you can see as his healing there. He had trouble eating because of his mouth injuries, so I made him a high-protein, plant-based pudding to eat to aid in his healing. I'll link the recipe in the description box below. By the time he went to the ENT 4 days later, his nose fractures were healing, probably because of the knit bone. So on day 5, I removed his stitches. I have a little bit of a video here on removing his stitches, and his nose is healed up quite well. The fractures are good. Everything is doing fine with his fractures. And here I'm taking out his stitches using a little bit of iodine, that's all, and some sterilized tweezers and a little tiny detail pair of scissors. And this is day 5. We remove these stitches here. The guy who stitched him up at the hospital did a really great job. And there we go. And by the next week, he was actually back on his bike. No pain meds, no pharmaceuticals, just natural remedies, good food, and lots of rest. Hubby now has a full-faced helmet and is back on the trails again. No more of this for him, hopefully. So just to recap on his remedies, he took Arnica 30C immediately after his accident and repeated Arnica anytime the pain or swelling got worse. He also took Symphytum to help knit the bones back together in his nose. Now, I highly suggest if you're going to try any of these remedies, you speak with a naturopathic doctor or talk to your doctor first, because if you take something like Symphytum and your fracture isn't set properly, the Symphytum will knit the fracture back together and it may be in the wrong place and need to be reset. So you always should speak to your naturopathic doctor prior to trying these remedies. Aside from that, he sprayed his cuts and abrasions with colloidal silver in the evenings before bed. And while his mouth was healing, he ate a plant-based high-protein chia pudding, which he actually said was delicious, so he felt a little spoiled eating that every day.